Lions think they're so amazing, all that king of the jungle stuff has really gone to their heads, hasn't it? Sometimes they get way too full of themselves and go around picking fights just because they think they're that cool. Well, that doesn't always work out in their favor, and there are some bold challengers out there ready to bring them back down to earth. From a honey-guide bird reminding us why they're absolutely nuts to a tiny turtle with giant balls, here are 20 times lions messed with the wrong opponent. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now, let's get started. Number 1. African warthog versus lions. Although African warthogs usually aren't aggressive toward larger, more fearsome animals, they will definitely fight back if cornered by a lion. The warthog is well equipped for defense, boasting longer legs than any other pig species and remarkable speed when needed. They're especially skilled at escaping tough situations with agile, crafty, evasive maneuvers. They can really outmaneuver a predator. While relatively small, their speed and agility give them a big advantage in a fight when attacked. The African warthog also possesses enormous tusks and isn't afraid to use them. These tusks can inflict serious damage, especially on a lion that, although a formidable predator, can be easily wounded by these colossal canines. Their tusks are essentially oversized teeth, and being impaled by the massive tusks of a warthog defending its young could mean death for any creature, even the old, feared king of the jungle. Number 2. Gorilla versus lion. Gorillas and lions would probably never encounter each other in the wild. Gorillas live in the mountainous regions of Africa, while lions predominantly roam the savanna plains. But if you want to know which of the two, the largest among creatures, would win in a hand-to-hand fight, well, silverback gorillas are super intimidating. Adult males can reach up to 1.8 meters tall and weigh as much as 225 kilos, and they are not to be challenged. The fact is, these guys are actually vegetarians. That doesn't mean they can't crush an opponent like a twig, it just means they're not interested in eating them afterward. The lion, on the other hand, kills to feed, so it's a different kind of opponent. Weighing almost the same as a silverback gorilla, the African lion is fairly balanced in terms of strength. If a lion used stealth to attack a gorilla, it would certainly have the advantage. But if the gorilla was aware of the lion, it would have much more endurance and would eventually wear down the attacking lion. So there really isn't much difference. The gorilla's incredible strength could be a factor in its favor, but the lion has all the hunting moves. Number 3. Can an ostrich kill a lion? Now, this is a huge bird. Ostriches are actually the largest birds on the planet. A fully grown male can weigh up to 150 kilos and stand as tall as 2.7 meters. Interestingly, they have only 2 toes on each foot and possess the largest eyes of any land creature, with stunning 5-centimeter eyelashes. All to see you better, dear. The ostrich's large body is too heavy to fly, so these birds have developed muscular legs to be extremely fast on the ground. They can sprint short distances at a top speed of about 70 kilometers per hour, or sustain around 50 kilometers per hour over longer distances. This is one of the ways ostriches keep thriving in large numbers. They usually outrun their predators, plus being in groups offers more protection, and they have a very cool secret weapon. They don't have teeth, but what makes the ostrich deadly isn't in its mouth. A single kick from an ostrich's powerful foot can actually kill a lion. Maybe they're the Bruce Lee of the savannah. Number 4. The Worbst versus lion. A lion attacks a Worbst by the throat and throws it aside in a one-on-one fight. The Worbst has some tricks to play against the lion. Don't underestimate the Worbst. When a lion has a Worbst by the throat on the ground, you'd think it's the end, but suddenly the massive shouldered Worbst gets back up. That's really the secret of this battle, staying on your feet. Although the lion is powerful, the big cat really needs to use its strength to bring its prey down and keep the upper hand in the situation. As soon as the Worbst manages to shake off the lion and stand firm, everything changes. The Worbst has large, sharp horns and can use its weight against the lion. If the Worbst charges at the lion, it better run fast, because being impaled by a Worbst's horns will be at the very least quite uncomfortable. Number 5. Zebra kills lion. It's not common for a zebra to escape a lion attack, but every now and then, a zebra manages to land the perfect kick and make a hasty retreat. That's exactly how this zebra kept a huge maned lion at bay and walked away relatively unscathed. It seems like all the lion versus zebra scenes you've seen before. I mean, we know exactly how they end. A bit of struggle, a fatal bite followed by a throat tear, all before the inevitable shots of bloody zebra pieces and lions looking satisfied with themselves. themselves. But this zebra had seen that movie many times and wasn't about to become the messy feast for the local pride's lunch. In a terrifying moment, the lion had grabbed the zebra and it looked like it was all over. But then the struggling zebra managed to break free and delivered a powerful double kick to the surprised lion's face. To make matters worse, the stunned lion fell face first into a mud puddle. The zebra then kicked again and ran away. Now, I'm not sure if a zebra's kick could actually kill a lion, but this lion definitely died socially and slinked away with its tail between its legs. Number 6. Lion versus tiger. The tiger is a formidable opponent. There are many recorded victories of tigers over the so-called king of the jungle, and in ancient Rome, the two big cats were often pitched against each other in one-on-one battles to the death. Artistic depictions of these fights usually showed the tiger as the winner, and in more contemporary confrontations, the tiger still seems to have the deadliest strikes. Although the tiger and lion appear fairly balanced in terms of teeth, speed, and overall size, the tiger is an extremely powerful and muscular animal, so in a fight against a single lion, the tiger definitely has the advantage. In 2011 at the Anera Zoo in Turkey, a tiger managed to enter the lion enclosure and was witnessed attacking a lion with a single efficient paw strike. The tiger succeeded in cutting the lion's jugular vein, and with a swipe of its super sharp claws, it was brutal. But since tigers, like many other big cats, are generally solitary, the lion again holds the advantage of group mentality. These guys know there is strength in numbers and use it to the fullest. Number 7. Leopard versus lion. Although leopards and lions are both powerful big cats, there is a considerable difference between them, especially when it comes to size, strength, and social behavior. Lions are larger, more robust, and have a powerful advantage. They live in organized prides. Leopards, on the other hand, are solitary, stealthy, and extremely agile, relying on their intelligence and cunning to survive. Despite this apparent disadvantage, the leopard does not seem to fear lions. Yes, they know they are easy targets if caught on the ground by a group of adult lions, but that has never stopped them from continuing to hunt in dangerous areas or even venturing near lion-dominated territories. This is because the leopard has a unique trait. It is always on the move, always alert, always one step ahead. The conflict between these two felines becomes more obvious when we talk about food. Lions, with their king of the savannah attitude, sometimes prefer to save energy and simply steal a meal from another predator. And who usually suffers from this? The leopard. After a long hunt involving silent tracking, chasing, and a quick takedown, the leopard still has to worry about guarding its prey. If it slips up, a group of lions may show up, take over the meat, and leave it hungry and humiliated. That's why leopards have developed an incredible skill, climbing trees with prey in their teeth. It seems impossible, but they can drag entire antelope carcasses up to the highest branches where lions, hyenas, or other scavengers cannot reach. This behavior, combining strength with strategy, shows how adaptable the leopard is in an environment full of rivals. Another advantage of the leopard is its hunting style. Unlike lions, who depend on the group and attack in collective ambushes, leopards are masters of stealth. They hunt mostly at night, relying on their camouflaged coat and incredible ability to move silently. In some cases, a leopard may be just a few meters from its prey, nor a lion, without being noticed. This makes it a formidable hunter and an excellent survivor. Still, when the sun rises and daylight comes, the lion reclaims dominance. With its brute strength, imposing presence, and support from other pride members, it becomes almost unbeatable in direct confrontations. That's enough to intimidate even the boldest leopards, who at the first sign of threat prefer to retreat to the safety of trees or darkness. However, it's wise not to underestimate the leopard. There have been cases where it faced and defeated young lions in solitary fights, using speed and precision. These are rare battles, but they show that when pressured, the leopard also knows how to show its claws, and isn't afraid to use them. The balance between these two wild kings reminds us that in nature, size isn't everything. Strategy, timing, and intelligence are weapons as powerful as brute strength, and in this survival game, both lion and leopard have their defined roles, but the confrontations, when they happen, are always spectacular. Number 8. Python teaches a lesson to a lion cub. When it comes to the animal kingdom, experience is often a matter of life or death. And for this young lion, it was almost the end of the line. While most adult lions have learned to avoid snakes with great caution, especially the bigger, stronger ones like pythons, this cub seems to have skipped exactly that lesson. Perhaps out of naivety, or maybe overconfidence, he decides to approach a python apparently just out of curiosity. At first, everything seems calm. The python is coiled, seemingly motionless, trying to stay hidden in the vegetation. But as we know, snakes rarely attack without reason. They wait, and when they feel threatened, they strike with impressive speed and precision. The cub approaches, sniffs, and as if playing, lightly taps the snake with his paw. A mistake he will never forget. In an instant, the python uncoils with a sudden, precise movement. It strikes directly at the cub's face, sinking its curved, sharp teeth into the young feline's skin, who recoils in panic. The attack wasn't lethal, but it was enough to scare him deeply. The bite paralyzes him for a few seconds, as if the world had stopped. There's no more playing. The pain is real, the fear palpable. He painfully understands that snakes are not toys. Luckily, the python decides not to follow through with the attack. Maybe it was just defending itself or wasn't hungry at that moment, but it's worth remembering that pythons, depending on the species, can swallow prey as large as an antelope or a goat. Some have even been recorded swallowing entire crocodiles. A small, inexperienced lion cub would not be an impossible challenge for a snake of that caliber. And while the little lion retreats, still dazed and trying to understand what happened, the snake repositions itself, returning to its camouflage as if saying, "Be careful next time." The bite, although not fatal, left physical and probably emotional marks. It's the kind of lesson no young predator forgets, an encounter that changes the way it sees the world, and likely saved its life in future confrontations. This episode reminds us that in nature, even the most feared hunters can become prey, especially when they underestimate an opponent. Physical strength and instinct are vital, but nothing replaces respect for experience and the hidden dangers of the jungle. For this cub, the encounter with the python was a kind of wild baptism, a reality shock marking its transition from curious childhood to the brutality of the real world. Number 9. Two lions face off against an oryx. The oryx is a type of long-horned antelope, so you can already guess where this is going. Although the oryx is often hunted by lions, these antelopes have developed some techniques to defend themselves against big cat attacks. Lions usually attack their prey from behind, and that's how they prefer to approach the oryx, which has extremely sharp horns. And you can see why, because the front of this creature is visibly more dangerous. So if a group-working lion brings down an oryx and manages to keep it on the ground, it's pretty much over for the oryx. But if the oryx manages to stay on its feet and use its horns, the lion will have to be very careful. Also, oryx live in large herds of 300 or more, and if they are a bit more organized and less easily frightened, they could make a lion's life very difficult. The oryx's horns can be lethal weapons, and they have killed lions before. The scimitar oryx, also known as the saber antelope, has horns as deadly as a sword. It's surprising that lions haven't met their end more often, being skewered like kebabs by an oryx's horns. Number 10. Lions attack a crocodile while it walks on land. This is a battle of terrifying proportions, two of the deadliest creatures facing off, making the fight extremely dangerous. So if the crocodile has the most powerful jaws of all animals, but the lion is the king of that same kingdom, who wins? Lions usually hunt in groups, giving them a significant advantage over the crocodile, which is more mobile alone. But if this fight were one-on-one, the battle between a lion and a crocodile could really go either way. The crocodile is a fearsome creature if it manages to get the first bite and catch the lion. Its incredibly powerful bite can hold tight, allowing the strong crocodile to drag the lion into the water and drown it. Wow, that's brutal. The crocodile also has the element of surprise on its side. It can hide in shallow waters and suddenly emerge to catch a passing animal. Of course, the lion has several dangerous skills that make it a deadly opponent in a fight with a large crocodile. Lions are more agile, and if they manage to leap onto the crocodile before it can close its deadly jaws, then the lion will have the advantage. In the end, it all comes down to who gets the first bite. First bite, last laugh. Number 11. When lions attack porcupines. Now, how can a rodent weighing about 18 kilos defend itself or even kill a large feline weighing 180 kilos? It seems like there's no way that could happen, right? The lion has it all, strength, speed, and size. But the rodent in question is the guinea pig, and these small spiny creatures have a unique and sometimes deadly weapon at their disposal. You'd think lions would have stopped trying to eat porcupines by now, because it rarely ends well for them. Porcupines, as you probably know, are covered with very sharp quills. These pointed sticks can pierce a persistent lion, which sounds uncomfortable, but those sharp quills can cause fatal injuries. If one of them pierces the lion's heart or even a major artery, the feline will literally bleed to death, and the guinea pig will likely just walk away, losing 1 or 2 quills. But this instant death spear isn't the only way an encounter with a guinea pig can end in serious trouble for a lion. Scientists have discovered that lions who get porcupine quills stuck in them can suffer long-term problems. They may have difficulty hunting, depending on where the quills are lodged, and this can make them more prone to attacking a human or livestock, both usually resulting in death for the lion. A lion that was killed in 1965 had a porcupine quill stuck right in its nose. Ouch! The lion couldn't hunt, and its sense of smell was damaged, so it killed a human, and that was the end of it. Death by 1,000 pricks, or even by a single well-placed quill. Number 13. Fearless stray dog faces a lioness. Whether this dog is incredibly brave or just reckless is a debate that continues to this day. What can't be denied is that he starred in one of the most surprising and unusual scenes ever recorded in an Indian forest. We're talking about a common stray dog, no specific breed, no special training, no owners nearby, just a lone dog wandering through the vast and dense Gir National Forest in Gujarat, home to some of the last Asiatic lionesses on the planet. The encounter seemed doomed to a tragic ending. On one side, 2 adult lionesses, imposing, muscular, and sharp-toothed. On the other, a skinny, restless dog, apparently unaware of the trouble he was about to get into. And yet, instead of hiding, running, or lying down in submission, he does the exact opposite. He charges at them. Barking non-stop, he circles the lionesses, advances boldly, and even tries to bite one on the paw. That's right, a street dog attacking a lioness. The most surprising part? The lionesses don't react the way anyone would expect. Instead of taking down the dog with a single blow, they back off, watch, and even seem somewhat confused, as if trying to figure out what's going on. The dog, meanwhile, doesn't stop for a moment. His barks echo through the forest like a persistent alarm, and the tension rises with every second. Forest rangers who witnessed the scene were completely baffled. One of them recorded the moment on his phone, and soon the video went viral, sparking all kinds of reactions. Some praised the dog's courage, calling him a 4-legged hero, a true symbol of bravery. Others, however, raised more serious concerns. Stray dogs entering protected areas pose a real threat to wildlife. It's not just about bravery. There are risks involved. Domestic dogs can carry contagious diseases like distemper and rabies, which spread easily among wild carnivores. A single contact, a bite, or even territory sharing can be enough to start a chain of infections with devastating effects for already endangered species like Asiatic lionesses. In this context, the dog's apparent victory may have actually been the result of caution on the lioness's part. Perhaps they sensed something was wrong with that small, aggressive animal. Maybe their instinct warned them that a fight wasn't worth the risk. Or maybe at that moment, they just weren't hungry enough to retaliate. Either way, the scene is unforgettable. The dog walks away with his chest puffed out, as if he had just faced dragons. The lionesses remain watching from a distance, still puzzled by the behavior of such an unusual intruder. And for the viewer, it's a moment to reflect. Courage and madness sometimes walk hand in hand, and in the wild that can either save or condemn a life. Number 14. Pregnant rhino fights off a pride of hungry lions. After getting stuck at a watering hole, you know how it goes. You're taking a bath at the local watering hole when a group of lions shows up and starts threatening to eat you. They have no respect for your privacy and just wait there for you to leave the water. No towel or anything to help, just the face of it all looking so bored with the threats from their idol. Eventually, you resign yourself to the fact that this is the end of your relaxing soap bath. These lions start trying to attack you. I mean, seriously, have they never seen your epic body, so 3 against 1, it looks like the lions will probably take this. However, they try, but the rhino has tough skin. We're up to several centimeters thick, and she's huge and powerful, with a very sharp horn. When the mighty rhino comes out of the water and stands on even ground with the lions, she simply outsmarts them. In fact, she just chases them in a few tight circles, leaving the big cats confused behind her. It's amazing to watch, and this incredible creature barely breaks a sweat. Number 15. Young elephant scares off a pride of lions. A dramatic moment. A fearless young elephant scares off a pride of lions patrolling a watering hole in South Africa. With all their years of experience, elephants, which can live up to around 65 years, have some tricks up their sleeves. Lions can be a threat to elephants, but the size of a male elephant means even a lion has the power to bring one down. However, lions usually hunt in groups and prefer younger elephants or females, as they tend to be smaller and therefore easier to overpower. Scientists conducted some experiments to see how elephants react to lions. They played recordings of lion roars, and the older females reacted first, with the rest of the herd moving closer. Older females, age 60 and up, recognized and responded more quickly to the male lion's roar. Their life experience taught them to identify different dangers by the slightly different sounds of the roar. Elephants are the strongest land animals, and not many can withstand their strength. Even a lion can be outrun by an elephant, but it seems the elephant's best defense is using its intelligence, working together to protect the herd. The elephant's experience can literally save their lives, so it's true. An elephant never forgets. Number 16. Lion versus turtle. Sometimes nature is just really weird. While you'd probably assume that a showdown between a huge, fierce lion and a tiny little turtle would end one obvious way, you'd be wrong. In this charming video clip filmed at the Malamala Private Reserve inside Kruger National Park, South Africa, a surprising interaction was captured. As we've seen before, heading to the waterhole is risky business. It's an ideal hunting spot where predators wait for easy prey at their most vulnerable. But usually, it's the lions doing the threatening, not a small turtle with a territorial dispute. But here we are. This turtle is not about to let those big cats drool all over its home and decides to take matters into its own hands. The turtle marches right up to the faces of the lions as they drink and strongly suggests they move along. When they continue drinking and ignore the turtle, it snaps at their tongues. Okay, so this turtle probably isn't going to fight a lion to the death, but you've got to admire its courage. Number 17. Hippopotamus versus lion. The African wilderness is full of dramatic encounters that remind us just how raw and unpredictable nature can be. Among these, few rival the sheer surprise and intensity of a confrontation between a hippopotamus and a lion. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Let sleeping hippos lie. If you ever find yourself near one, give it plenty of space because these seemingly slow-moving giants pack an incredible defensive punch. The setting: Masai Mara National Reserve, Kenya. This story unfolds in the iconic Masai Mara National Reserve, one of Africa's most famous wildlife sanctuaries. Known for its vast savannas, seasonal river crossings, and diverse fauna, the Mara is home to a complex ecosystem where predator and prey engage in a constant dance for survival. In this environment, lions reign supreme as apex predators, prowling the grasses with stealth and power. Yet, even the king of beasts must exercise caution when dealing with one of the Mara's most formidable residents, the hippopotamus. The hippo, a surprising force of nature. At first glance, the hippopotamus might appear to be a gentle, almost docile creature. It spends much of its time submerged in water, wallowing to keep cool under the harsh African sun. But beneath that placid exterior lies a giant built for defense. Adult hippos can weigh between 2,500 and 3,200 kilograms, boasting massive bodies, thick hides, and jaws capable of delivering devastating force. Hippos have enormous tusk-like teeth and jaw muscles, strong enough to exert a bite force exceeding 1/800 pounds per square inch, one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. These jaws can easily crush bones or tear through flesh, and in rare cases have even been known to snap wooden boats in half. The lioness's mistake: underestimating the hippo. One day, a lioness stealthily prowled the long grasses near a riverbank, her sharp eyes catching sight of a large hippo resting peacefully in the midday heat. From her perspective, the hippo looked like an easy target, slow, vulnerable, and seemingly unaware. Perhaps she thought this would be a simple kill, a meal secured without much effort. After all, lions usually prefer ambushes on slower or weaker prey. But as she approached closer, the hippo's powerful senses detected the predator's presence. With astonishing speed and precision, the massive animal pivoted, opening its cavernous mouth wide. The clash, power, and precision. In an instant, the hippo clamped down on the lioness's head with its formidable jaws, a place no predator wants to find itself trapped. The crushing force and the razor-sharp tusks delivered a punishing grip, instantly making the lioness realize she had misjudged her opponent. Being caught in those jaws was not just painful, it was potentially fatal. Hippos don't just bite, they pulverize. Their teeth, combined with their immense jaw strength, can shatter bones and cause severe trauma. Miraculously, the lioness managed to break free, retreating with her head intact but undoubtedly shaken by the encounter. Lessons learned: respecting the hippo's territory. This encounter serves as a powerful reminder about the dangers of underestimating nature's giants. While lions are apex predators known for their hunting prowess and bravery, hippos are far from defenseless. They are fiercely territorial and aggressive when threatened. The lioness's lucky escape surely came with a lesson, hard-earned, a lesson she will carry for the rest of her life in the wild. From now on, she will likely keep a respectful distance from hippos, recognizing them not as easy prey, but as creatures capable of delivering a deadly defense. The broader picture: nature's balance of power. The relationship between hippos and lions exemplifies the delicate balance of predator and prey in the wild. Hippos primarily feed on grass, while lions hunt a wide range of animals, from zebras to wildebeest. Encounters between the two, while rare, highlight how survival often depends on caution, respect, and understanding one's limits. Hippos defend their territories fiercely, particularly mothers protecting calves or males maintaining dominance. Any threat can provoke them to charge, bite, and fight back with brutal efficiency. Final thoughts. A warning echoed through the savannah. "Let sleeping hippos lie" is more than just an adage. It's a survival strategy echoed across the African savannah. These colossal creatures command respect, not only because of their size, but due to their explosive power and defensive instincts. The lioness's encounter reminds us all that the wild is unpredictable, and sometimes the smallest miscalculation can lead to serious consequences. So next time you think about the king of the jungle, remember the hippo, the unsung titan of the waterways who can stand its ground and send even the fiercest predators running. Number 18. African buffalo versus African lion. The African buffalo has a well-honed defense strategy. They're constantly on a lion's radar as a potential lunch, so they've had to develop incredible skills to protect themselves from lion attacks. Let's take a look at what they can do. The buffalo's massive size is its greatest weapon. They can use their sheer weight and large horns in a deadly way when facing a lion. An African buffalo can weigh up to 900 kilos, about 2,000 pounds, and grow up to 3.5 meters, 11.5 feet in length. They stay in large herds, traveling together, which makes things much safer, and they're also exceptional swimmers. That's one way to avoid contact with a lion, who typically doesn't like water. One of the most interesting lion prevention tactics is the presence of white birds, oxpeckers, that often ride on the backs of buffalo. They feed on insects living on the buffalo's skin, but also serve as an early warning system for any approaching big cats. They whistle whenever a lion gets close, so that's one of the ways buffalo avoid lions altogether. But how deadly is the buffalo? Well, these guys don't mess around. If they come across a lazy, sleeping pride of lions, they'll just charge right through them. That can even kill or injure any lion caught under the stampede or scatter the group, causing chaos and confusion. The buffalo's motto is definitely, "The best defense is a good offense." And I, for one, wouldn't want to get on the bad side of one of these big guys. Number 19. The honey badger versus 6 lions at once. The honey badger lives up to its fearless reputation by taking on 6 lions at the same time. Everyone knows honey badgers are crazy, that's obvious, but did you know these lunatics are also practically fearless? They have some of the toughest, thickest skin in the animal kingdom and are notoriously hard to take down, even for the sharpest predators. They're almost bulletproof and can certainly withstand arrows, spears, and machetes. So animal bites mean nothing to them, and a silly little snake? That's no problem for these wild creatures. Even if they get bitten, it wouldn't matter much, because honey badgers have an adaptation that makes them immune to venom and resistant to the neurotoxins found in snake bites. So a snake bite, or even swallowing a whole venomous snake for dinner, doesn't faze them one bit. In fact, up to 25% of the honey badger's diet consists of snakes. Delicious. So, with their bulletproof skin, total lack of fear of deadly snakes, and general disregard for absolutely everything, it's no surprise that our old friends at Guinness World Records named the honey badger the most fearless creature on Earth. So seeing this one facing off against a gang of top-tier predators shouldn't be surprising. These animals just don't care and have all the time in the world to prove it. After all, they're as tough as nails, practically indestructible, even when surrounded by a bunch of lions. Number 20. Giraffe kicks lion to defend itself. When you look at a long-legged giraffe, you might think this extraordinary creature, though beautiful, isn't one of the best equipped. But take a closer look. There are plenty of animals in the African savanna that want to hunt and eat giraffes. They're quite tasty and make for a big meal too. So the giraffe, with its long neck, had to develop a very effective technique to protect both itself and its calves. They don't have sharp fangs, horns, or claws, so how do they defend themselves? Their secret weapon lies in their long legs. They have such a powerful kick that they can even bring down a predator if they hit the right spot. That's why many predators in the savannah don't pick giraffes for dinner, unless they're very inexperienced or there's no easier prey around. Most of the time, the giraffe can simply outrun another animal, so that's their first line of defense. They also have excellent eyesight, so even if a predator tries to sneak up, the giraffe is likely to spot it and flee before it gets too close. If any creature tries to take down a giraffe, it's really risking a brutal blow, one that could even be fatal. Honestly, giraffes should probably come with a warning label. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Don't forget to check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.